Alright, here first off, we're going to look at letter H there on page 82. On this, there's so many different ways you could start this drawing. I would probably start this drawing from the front view and draw just the first portion of it, which is going to be kind of that upside down L-shaped piece. And then we'll put a slot into that. So let's just kind of look at that. We'll kind of come up with some measurements here of what we're going to do this. So I'm just going to start this with the line command here. Started there. I'm starting on that top surface of it. Coming across in this direction. Oh gosh. I'm trying to look at a scale. If we made it a ½ an inch thick, what would be 1, 2, maybe 4 inches long on this part. Let's try that and see what it looks like. 4 inches there. Then let's come down. I'd say maybe a little bit less than that 4. Let's maybe come down 3.5 down. Over. If we make that top part an inch thick, let's make this bottom part maybe 1.5 inches. So let's go 1.5 over. And let's go back up 2.5. And we'll just finish this off over here. Oh, my tracking's not on. Let me try that again. There we go. Something like that. Kind of ignored this big fillet that was here. I do want to show you the 3D fillet command, so we're not going to put any fillets now in, because I want to use the 3D fillet command. Alright, so I don't think this is too bad of a start. I do want to round this in over here. If you don't remember, the easy way to do that, at least I think it's the easy way, if you just go F for fillet, pick those two parallel lines, click there and click there. It puts a nice beautiful round on there. I do think that actually stretched this down a little bit too far, so I am going to move that fillet straight on back up to there and trim it off and make it more so that height. From there next, all we really have left here on this portion of it is putting that slot in there. Let's see, if we draw our slot starting here. Oh, I went to that same center point as that circle. Let's go maybe a diameter of what? 0.75 maybe? Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. 0.75 diameter for that circle. I'm going to go ahead and copy that circle straight up. And what do we think? Maybe 1 inch up. Draw our lines to the quadrants. And trim it out. What do we think? Do we like that ish? I don't think that's too bad of proportions on it. I think that should work. I'll pause there for a second. Okay, so from there, now we're going to go ahead and just region this block. So let's go region it. Come on, computer. There we go. Region that. Let's go ahead and extrude it. And we're going to extrude both parts. And let's extrude it just at a ½ of an inch. So there is my block. Turn that on to conceptual. There we go. Oh, you know, what did I do? What view did I start this from? Oh, I started this from the top view. What view were you supposed to start this from? Oh, the front. I forgot. Sounds like many of you forgot. I didn't even think about it. I didn't start with that. But that's easy. It looks like the front view here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, go Control C. When I'm in my top view, I'm going to go Control C. This looks like the front view, so I need to go to the front view and go Control V and paste it into the front view. Erase out that other one, and there we go. We're golden. We got it back on the right view on that. All right. So from there, let's change up the colors a little bit. So put a couple of different colors on that thing. I don't care. 1 second here. So change this up to another color here. Sure, yellow, like that. I'm going to go ahead and just subtract out that slot. And there we go. So there, that part of it is done. And that really looks pretty good. Now what we need to do is obviously we need to round over this corner. We'll worry about that here in a little bit. We need to put on that other portion of it. For that other portion, we would do that from the top view. So let's go to the top view to do that. Down here on this corner, we need to draw a couple circles. When we look at it, we need to put a specific point to start that circle. So I'm going to twist this up a little bit in 3D here, so I can see. I'm going to go L for line. I'm going to attach my line to this top corner up here. And highlighting this top surface as we do it is a good thing, because then I'm starting from that plane. If I have this surface highlighted, it's going to try to go out to the side. I want to come down in this direction off of this top plane. So I'm going to highlight that top surface, click there. With my polar on, I'm going to bring my layout line out this direction. So it's coming straight out this way, again with polar. Let's see here. I think let's try a 1/2 inch and see what this looks like. So let's go out 0.5 for a little layout line there. I got a little layout line there on that corner. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a circle. Now I do want to be careful that if I highlight this purple or this surface and I try to draw my circle to the end of this line, notice what plane it's going to be on. I don't want that on. So you want to select that line and not change your UCS. So now I'm actually drawing it on that. This is sometimes where having your dynamic UCS on can be sometimes a pain. Here, I already got it set to my top view. So if I turn off my dynamic UCS, I'll be fine. I can just draw this circle in here, no problem. So for this circle, the first one, I'm just going to draw it right out to there. The next one, I drew it out to that corner. Next one, I'm going to draw from there to that position there. I think this is going to look okay and look like an alright scale, so let's just give it a try. So I drew those two circles again from that center point that was a 1/2 inch out. First circle to that corner, second circle to that corner. Okay, from there we need to go extrude. We're going to pick our two circles. We're going to extrude and we're going to go down with them. And let's just extrude in that same 1/2 inch. Let's go 0.5. Alright. So there from that, we're going to go ahead and change the color of those two because, it can't be, all the same color. That would be ugly. Yeah, sure. There we go. I like that color. Yes. I think it's thinner than that thing. You can't see that corner that's underneath there, so I think it's thinner than that. We could maybe go a little bit thicker, but I think it's thinner than it. We might be able to go 0.75, but I think it's thinner. I think it's thinner. So there we go, and we can press pull here in a second if we want to. So we got that. We're going to go ahead and go subtract. Now here's something. We need to obviously put these things together. We need to union it. If you subtract this way, you'll union and subtract at the same time. So for example, if I go subtract, if I subtract from this object and from this object, subtract from those two objects and hit enter, and then subtract out that cylinder, it unioned it together and subtracted it both. That makes sense? Alright, so now we're basically done with this, but we need to fill it off some corners, round off some corners. Notice this corner back here is rounded off. This little one here is rounded, and this one here is rounded. There is a fillet command for 3D. It's just the same. It's F for fillet. Works a little bit differently. Remember when we're filleting in 2D, if I wanted to fillet this corner, I'd pick this line here and this line here. When you're filleting in 3D, you actually pick the line that you want to make rounded. So you pick the corner. So you're picking this line for the corner. I want to fillet that corner. And now for the expression. This one's going to be a pretty big fillet. Let's go maybe 1 and see what that looks like. And enter twice. There we go. And I don't think 1 looks too bad. Now here's something, actually a little tidbit I did not tell you. Notice the fillet turned white. If we change the color to some other color, what color don't I have? I don't have, sure, fuchsia pink. We're going to go magenta. So if we fill it again, and again we pick this inside corner here, and let's go, that one's going to be a smaller fillet. Let's maybe try 0.25. And enter again. Notice the fillet takes the color of whatever it is color you're on. So go ahead and go around. Again, I think this bottom corner, maybe 0.25 would look appropriate there. Try that and see what that would look like. Alright, so I filleted this one 1/4 inch. I filleted this one 1 inch. Now I'm going to twist it up here a little bit. I'm going to fillet this corner. I'm going to do it the same 1/4 inch I did before, so I'm just going to hit enter, enter. And then, honestly, this one down here, this corner, we should probably fillet it too. So I'm going to fillet, and I think probably a 1/2 inch is going to look good there. We can't even see that one in the book, but if we do it a 1/2 inch, it's just going to round that over nicely there. And I think that looks good. So there is that drawing finished, looking beautiful. We can hit, I'm currently on my top view. My Z is pointing out my top, so all I really need to do is hit my corner and put that in a nice isometric view. And this drawing is done. You can go ahead and save that to your practice folder. Save it as what it is, which is page 82-Top-H. So save it as page 82-Top-H in your practice folder. And you can go ahead and do your snipping of it. And that'll be great. From there, there's a whole list of drawings you're going to have for optional drawings to pick after this one. And I'll put that up here on the screen in a second.